Hello, my name is Tom. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about news, reviews and rides going on in the PV community. On this episode, we're looking at the highlights from Eskate 2023. So let's check it out. So first of all, where do we even get started on this trip? It was an absolute once in a lifetime opportunity to visit Las Vegas. So if there's some of you guys who do not know about what happened a few weeks ago at Eskate Con. So Eskate Con is like an international PV electric skateboard expo based in Las Vegas. It was hosted by the guys at Mboards with Mike, James, Jacob and the rest of the team there. And basically it's an example of kind of getting all the community together for like a mass Eskate extravaganza. So we're gonna have a series of videos from the event. I was very lucky to go over there. Had a little bit of sponsorship from Mboards, so thank you so much for you guys helping us out. Took the board over there, basically demoed the board, raced the board. Basically it's got really life-changing events over the way there. Met up with a load of the guys over there with Drew, Craig, guys at Mboards, SoCal Lessons, Scott Davies, Fred, City Surfer, and the list goes on and on and on and on. But more of those people are going to be featured in upcoming videos. But on this one, we're looking at the first initial day landing in Las Vegas. We went over, me, Scott Davies, Craig, and a load of the other guys, content guys, went over to visit Mboards to check out the endurance, the podcast, and kind of a little bit of a sneak peek on things that are happening at Eskate Con coming up. You might see some recognised faces along the way. Comment below the people that you recognise in this video. But without any further ado, let's look at a factory tour of Mboards. So let's go.
Hey, it's good, dude.
What's up, man? You alright?
Yeah, bro.
Hey! All good, man. Vegas, baby.
Hi, so we are at the Mboards HQ, and just want to say first thing, guys are super friendly here, and we've kind of taken over the studio. We've got some of the guys here. We've obviously got James, Jacob, Mike, and all the guys, rest of the team here. So basically, just going to go check out the studio, see what's up. Just kind of like take over, really. But so far, loving the setup. Guys are really welcoming. Some of the stuff here is really cool. I've had a little whiz on the endurance already, but weather's gone bad, so I'm gonna have to do that footage again at some point, so we'll talk about it soon. But first impressions of the board, really nice. Yeah, I'm just taking over. Hello, Marlo. Hello. What's hello? Yeah, so I've got a dog here, office dog. Yeah, approved. Yeah, well. Yeah, so we're just going to check out Mboards and see what it's all about. So let's go. So Scott, how you finding Mboards location so far?
This is a lifetime experience. I'm not sure. Do it properly. Amazed. I've just said on my own video. It's super clean, super well organized. Everyone here is super nice and chill. If I lived here, I would try to work here. It's a really cool shop.
Right, so I'm here with Craig. How you find? Oh, Sean, you're there. Come in here. There he is. Yeah. So how you finding the Mboards office so far? Like,
Man, it's awesome. It's full of gear. It's ready for Eskate Con. It's just epic. These guys are just so set up and I'm just
yeah.
pumped.
Yeah. To be fair, honestly, we've got like 3 or 4 days now, and they're so prepped. It's unbelievable. Their stuff. Yeah, it's just like last minute bits, but they're so organised.
So organised. I mean, you can't move in here. It is just jam packed of gear and raffle prizes. It is just epic. It's so good to be here, and they're so accommodating with giving us so much time, and they are strapped.
And we're a pain in the arse just doing stuff like this. Yeah, just running around. But the thing is, I think facilitation's been great. Like I set my board here, but the amount of extra stuff they've accommodated for is great.
Oh, for everybody, for all the riders, shipping their boards out here for Eskate Con, they've just done it all, and I just find this is their second year in for this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But they've
learned so much.
Yeah,
already.
Absolutely. They are so set and so organised. And man, it's a privilege to be here with guys like yourself and obviously Scott and now Mike and James and all the crew here. It's just awesome.
It's getting real, isn't it?
It's getting so real. Yeah. I'm so psyched.
So we're here with Jacob, who's donated and representing the Mboards logos today.
Yeah.
Do you want to choose who you are, Jacob? I don't think we get enough, and we need more screen time. Let's know a bit more about you.
Yeah, man. I hear that every once in a while. Today we're kind of just getting ready for the convention, so I'm glad we finally got you kitted up.
But you guys are organised as hell. Like, what day are we on? What, Tuesday? Tuesday today?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you guys are still, at the end of the day, I think this is what people miss. You guys are fundamentally a business, and this is a side thing. Go on, Joe, come say hi. It's brilliant, don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm trying to be respectful as I'm climbing underneath. This is a workplace here, man.
Exactly, it is workplace.
What's up, everyone? How's it going?
That's what it's all about organic. But that's the thing. You've got the event, you've got the company to run, and you've got people like me who's, keeping you guys busy.
Yeah, just here killing time. No, really, it's crazy. So this time last year was wild. About a month before the event, I think Mike and I were still sitting around and kind of like, so we're hoping people actually show up to this thing.
Man.
This year has been totally crazy. We've been prepping since like July of last year. So really at this point, I'm kind of relaxed. I'm ready for the event.
And that's important, man. Like, people miss all the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's owed or anything. Like, people should be super appreciative. No, we all appreciate the event. We've all travelled because we love what you guys have done. This is the first. Obviously, last year was big.
Yeah.
Representation. Everyone had great feedback, which is good. And now I think it's great for. Hopefully, there's a chance for you guys to get a tiny bit of downtime with how busy it's going to be anyway. But you've got the build up this week, so hopefully you got the investment of time.
Right.
You can spend some time shredding, chilling, interviewing, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things that, as a host, you don't really get to enjoy as much as you want.
Exactly.
You end up doing a lot of the scheduling. I mean, it is at the end of the day work. There's 40 other vendors that are here working. Mm-hmm. So it is, it's kind of a balance you play. But I live in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I absolutely love being here in Vegas. So I think even just getting out on the group rides with everybody Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that alone is enough for me, honestly, for the weekend.
Yeah, you guys need that downtime as well, and it's great to connect with people as well, because you're doing the show of the weekend, so these downtimes are really important. But like I say, I'm super grateful to be welcome here. I love the layout. It's really smooth operations what you guys do here, with distractions coming in all the time.
It's every day, man. It's every day. No, we appreciate it. We did put a lot of work into it. We've reorganized this warehouse probably half a dozen times since we've moved in. And we're ready to move out and get a bigger warehouse already. So we've got more space, just kind of looking to fill it up.
So even more plans. Not enough work already. There's always the next.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready for the next phase. So for us, 2023 is going to be a really big year. Mboards really took a big launch last year with the endurance. We've got more boards queued up and ready to go. So here James is going to roll a prototype right under the camera, which is perfect. No, it's perfect.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
you guys don't even get to see it because it's hiding. It's hiding.
Just a little
Bam. It's hiding.
Bam. We're gonna get some shots. But yeah, I have a little go in endurance.
Sorry.
Premium product. Absolutely premium product.
Yeah, man, come to the convention. You know, it's a huge ask for we get it. You know, for folks overseas, things like that. But it's definitely one of those experiences that you have to be here for, man. This is the mecca of Eskate right now.
And that's the thing, like we've had I think the difference between, for me, like I've done Eskate events or PV events in the past.
Yeah.
You guys are like, you know, you're still growing. It's still early days, and you've put on the biggest event in the history of PEVs.
Crazy to think. We sold out all of our vendor spaces. We sold out all of our race slots. We don't sell out tickets because, I mean,
I don't know,
like pack the house. I don't know how many we could fit in that venue, but what's crazy is we've already talked about 24 and 2025 of venues and places that we're going and all these, you know, new things we want to do. So as good as this year is going to be, every year we'll just progressively get bigger and bigger and bigger.
And it's definitely a risk and reward thing. Like the investment is huge. And it's just awareness.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, Mboards is obviously kind of like slightly shadowed on what the event is, but it's everyone's saying who's doing something. You guys are actually doing something.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the idea that, you know, we're making money on this is definitely wrong. This was a project that Mike was super passionate about, and one of the first things he said was, I really don't care how much it costs. We need to do this for the community. And so that's why last year was really just, we have to do this. We have to get everybody involved. And we kind of, you know, did the Field of Dreams idea, build it and they will come.
Yeah.
So we had to show up for year 2. Here we are, we're doing it again. So yeah, it's Mboards is kind of a small fry in the bigger picture of the convention. Of course it, you know, benefits us, but benefits everybody that comes.
I think it's the unity.
Yeah.
I think, don't get me wrong, this racing is sick, and that's awesome. You know, people to see who's doing what out there and who's representing. But I think the underlying massive thing about this event is the unity and the connection between them. I've got a question for you, and I really want to know.
Hit it.
How did you get into this, and how did you get to this point now with working with Mboards? Because
Yeah.
I don't think people know. I don't know. I want to know, how did you end up?
That's a cool story. So I have it's kind of I call him Eskate Sensei. I sort of feel like everybody has an Eskate Sensei, right? So that was my brother-in-law. We moved out to Vegas. He had a couple boards. He had a very early Bamboo GTX.
That was my first board as well.
Yeah, dude, Evolve wanted to be an ambassador. If you've ever used Sports Tracker, there's a dude that's fully kitted up in moto gear and he's on an electric board. That's him.
Right.
The dude's a madman on a board. Yeah, Kenny. So when I moved out, he tried to get me on the boards. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't get on the board. I was totally scared. My wife goes, I'll try it. So she gets on the board. She starts riding around the neighborhood, and I'm just standing on the sidewalk. So I, of course, like secretly took his board out in the afternoons, and I learned how to ride it, and I got hooked. So I immediately bought like 3 boards. I bought my wife one. She got and so for me, what kind of gets me to this position is Eskate is not cheap, and when it's a hobby, when it's fun, it's difficult to, you know, spend thousands of dollars and then here and there, oh, I always need a part, something's broken. It's just the nature of it. So,
and there's always the next shiny thing.
There's always something bigger and better. And when you buy your first board, it's not the one you have last, right? Like your first board is the first. You're gonna sell it. You're gonna do something to it. So the progression was, in order to pay for my hobby, I was gonna have to figure out a way to make it a business, essentially. Yeah. So like everybody, I kicked the idea of a rental shop. Let's rent boards. Everybody's gonna want to ride these. They'll pay $50. That insurance is stupid expensive, and it's just a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Open a retail shop, right? Again, another bad idea. So went down the laundry list of bad ideas and just decided it wasn't gonna be for me. I then one day Googled like electric skateboards in Las Vegas. Mike was the only one that came up, but he has no shop location. He's got this like, albeit sort of janky website at the time. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. But I messaged him and I was almost pestering him. And I remember telling him like literally 4 years ago, someday I'm gonna come work for you and like we're gonna help grow this together. And he kind of laughed at it. I sent him my resume. He didn't respond. A year later, we're kind of messaging, same thing. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna come work for you. Just so happened, COVID started. I lost my job. Mike and I purchased board bumpers together. We then purchased Gecko Derm. I was hanging around the shop a lot.
By the way, people haven't seen Gecko Derm.
Albeit
we need to see more of that.
Yeah, there will be more. The kind of the moral of this story leads into why Gecko Derm is where it is now. But that company will be growing a lot this year as well. So that then just turned into, Mike couldn't get rid of me. He decided one day, hey man, can you build a battery? I sat down, we banged out a battery together, and he said, can you come back tomorrow? And I think that was about a year and a half ago. So in the short run, we've developed this really close relationship. I kind of oversee warehouse operations for him. We work on special projects. I do some customer service, but I'm trying to, my job is to make sure Mike can design, make sure he can move this company forward. And I think so far we've achieved that pretty good.
I think in relation to sport and then working in sport, funding the hobby, YouTube,
right?
It's interesting because I think culturally of skateboarding, it's about unity, everyone that, but things we ride are bloody expensive.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. But anyway, I am so hyped. I'm glad we could sit down and have a nice little chat.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, I love it, man, and it's just going to be vibes, memories for the next week.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, cool. Cheers.
Thanks, brother.
So right, that was a little bit of a sneak peek of some of the things coming later on in the video. We've got loads more stuff coming up on the channel. We've got some epic group rides, a Vegas trip, the legend of the Eskate Con, Red Rock Ride, which is one of the most beautiful places I've ever ridden on my board, and many, many more videos and clips coming, so you're not going to miss that. But I'm going to show you a little sneak peek of next week's video, so here's a little clip of that. So I hope you're really, really looking forward to that video. So that next week's video is going to be one of the bike events. Happens every Wednesday in Vegas, and there's going to be some really cool content coming. There's some absolute legendary riders in this group, and you're not going to want to miss this one. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've enjoyed this video, drop a like below. Comment anything else you want to see come up in this video, because we've got tons and tons of content. Subscribe for more content. Comes out on a weekly basis, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.